Don't say I'm sorry.
I'm not going to say I'm sorry, but I've missed you all dearly.
Yeah.
Missed you very much.
No problem. Yes, Sam has talked a bit, and yeah, from there we can start and come to the topic. It's included in the topic. When our own mind does not give what we want, that mind is a liability. Car can become a liability. Huh? A person can become a liability. So when the mind is crazy, lazy, reactive, says nobody understands me better. But if other understand, they also get stressed. So mind wants inner peace, happiness, joy in everything, in every condition. That is an asset. The mind is an asset. Mind is an instrument. So if I don't make it as an asset, I am responsible. I am responsible. So what happens when we kill Shreyas in us? We destroy ourselves. We have to pay the price. We are a pleasure seeker and the doer inside. And that comes from the me word that I have created. And that causes the delusion in me. Mind will repeat these pleasures seeking again and again, will leave the greater happiness inside. Because I'm not connected to the existence. Every pleasure seeker continues. Too much sorrow and the suffering. Contains too much sorrow and the suffering. Every pleasure seeker. Remember, pleasure seeker kills the path of the Shreyas. Then I do not love myself. I escape from myself. And that escapism becomes a liability. The mind is a liability. When you say bad morning, who says it? The mind is a liability. It has nothing to do with the morning, whether it is good or bad. Are you getting it? So simple. So in the last session, we understood that there is a mental virus that creates millions of variants. No, okay. When a counselor or a mentor guides the couple, for example, no, come on, you have to ask forgiveness. No, I have said forgiveness, but so the but continues. That is what the variant of the mental virus. It continues. It means we do not treat the mind properly. Are you getting it? There I'm coming. I do not treat my mind properly, so my mind treats me badly. Do you remember the story last time we talked about it? The wife hugged her husband when her husband said that we should embrace failures in life. So that impression is already there in the mind. So mind reacts to it. Mind says, okay, that's really good. Let me hug you. I would say, majority, all husband and wife have the same idea in the mind. More or less. Except the younger ones. So, what was in the mind of a wife? Prayers. Now analyze this. So, the prayers makes my mind a liability. Now, my mind is a liability that reflects the outer situation, condition, people differently. See that? And that causes lot of worries, lot of concern, lot of pain. Do you still remember the last time we said, how to be a seeker? The knowledge leads to humility. The humility leads to qualification. Qualification leads to inner wealth of the mind. That changes the mind. It makes the mind an asset. So what happens? The mind shifts from the me world to the real world. The real world, the existence. The real world raises my awareness, capacity, and readiness. And we enter into the universal law of existence that supports us in all conditions, with all people, in all situations in our daily life. And there we find a favorable condition in our life from moment to moment. Now think of it. Now the mind is an asset. Your mind perceives the favorable condition. Does your mind need to wander? No. That mind can say, I'm living from moment to moment. Simply intellectually saying, I'm living from moment to moment. How did you learn? I have read it from somewhere. See that? If a lotus plant complains, what a muddy place where the lotus flower blooms. That is, the mind is a liability. Now, how muddy it is. He never complains. Our mind that has become an asset never says or stops saying, I'm awfully busy, to become awful. We become awesome. Our mind never says, I'm not rich as you all are. Why? Mind now knows to have a wealth is one thing and to be happy with the wealth is another. You work hard. You continue to work hard. That's a different thing. The Eastern wisdom says, no peace, no gain. It is opposite of no pain, no gain. I can evolve myself in peace, in calmness. I can grow. I can earn. Do you see that here? The Eastern psychology is not little, but too much different. Because me word will definitely create emotional dependence, will definitely create sorrow and the suffering, and will push me to live in delusion and ignorance all the time. There are other verses, beautiful verses that I'm going to take up in this series. Now see another point that is very important so that you should be aware. When we in prayers, we seek a lot of attention from the people, place, environment. And when we seek a lot of attention from the people and the people are busy in themselves, they don't give the attention, I get upset. That is the movement of the prayers. then that life gives you too much of pain but little result. Ask those people who suffer from migraine. One part of the body grabs too much of attention without any result. Do you see that? Mind grabs too much of attention because of the migraine. What is the result? Frustration. No, 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 I cannot give the class. I'm unhappy, let me take rest. I have one friend. Whenever she talks to me, she talks about migraine. Shreyas is working like a migraine. Don't do this. Are you getting it? So, what happens when mind has a habit of seeking a lot of attention? We start taking ourselves lightly. So people also take you lightly. Do you see that? Did you understand that point? Because of the me word, because of the prayers, because of want to grab lot of attention, you take yourself lightly, so people also take you lightly. Years ago, I used to go to one studio, and that person used to spend about 15 minutes just talking, grabbing attention. And the people are waiting for me to talk. But that person keeps talking 15 minutes. Moving here and there. Oh no, let me clean this and let me do this, I'm very mindful. Come on, you are not mindful. It is 6 p.m. The class has already started. So people will take you lightly. And when people will take you lightly, you feel insulted. Then you become home and it creates a vicious circle in your life. It happens in relationship, in the family. So people start thinking, will that person come in time? No. People take you lightly. No problem. I can join the session even after half an hour. But I'm not saying only of this. I have to live my life mindfully. That is the main point. We may talk of the highest truth, but the people are taking you lightly. That highest truth becomes the lowest truth. What we are learning, ultimate goal of meditation is awaken, reveal that knowledge, reveal the real self in me. Bring an end to the suffering. But if we do not start from the foundation, the basis, it will not work. Who takes you seriously means you have a commitment, you have a sincerity that is going to put you on the path of the Shreyas. And the best thing, who commits to the knowledge, people around. I should be committed to you. When we say teacher and the students, there is a psychological feeling the teacher is always great. No. If the student is not there, teacher has no importance. Students are more important. As a teacher, am I mindful? As a husband, am I mindful? As a wife, I am mindful. As a son, I am mindful. That is very important. And that comes from the path of Shreyas. I say goodbye to the me world. Me world, huh? Me world, doer, enjoyer, attachment, detachment, sorrow, suffering, delusion, wrong understanding. Attention grabbing personality becomes self neglecting personality. And when you become a self neglecting personality, sins enters into your life that includes unfavorable condition. You only become attractive when you have attention giving personality to the existence, to the people around, to your relationship. What we are learning, mind should remain empty. Not attention seeking personality. That may oppose to the modern understanding. How many? I'm an influencer. 20,000 people. That is why I'm an influencer. How many people really contact you? See. Many people on LinkedIn, they say, "No, I'm an influencer." I said, "Be an influencer. I'm not interested in you." So, what Shreyas comes down to, just pay attention to what we are doing at present, learning, exchanging knowledge with mutual respect, love, care, commitment, sincerity. Because if I'm an attention grabbing personality, then there is no mutual respect, no love, no care, no commitment, no sincerity. First three or four, or you can include the first five of the eightfold noble path. They all together are known as, the word is known as Sheel. The Buddha says the real self is the abode of Sheel. Sheel means behavior, attitude, respectable, firm in the commitment, soft and gentle, well controlled, truthful. So now the Shreyas is coloring your personality. And the Shreyas colors your personality. You will see in a week, if you follow it clearly, you feel the life has changed. You wake up in the morning, every day is a good morning because now you are part of the existence. You see the honey, you see how wonderful the life is. Not otherwise. And that brings the right perception, that removes the projection, and the right perception helps you to absorb deep into the meditation. You wake up in the mornings, take it simple. You wake up in the morning, you find the sunlight in your bedroom, it is morning, it is perception. We do not have a choice. Pay attention. We do not have a choice. But when the moment I say it is a bad morning, there is a projection by the mind. Now, I'm not going in a different way. The same thing happens. The moment the mind has become a liability, now you go and meet people, even in your honey. Bad morning is already there in the mind. that mind is in liability. That mind will definitely remember what your honey did bad to you yesterday, last week, last. Are you getting it? My mind will follow the habit. So I have no choice of perception, but I have a choice of projection. So whether that projection takes me to Shreyas or prayers. Now go back, same thing. Ask yourself from where the projection has come. Why the mind says it is a bad morning. Create a, just imagine me world. Likes and dislikes, attachments, sorrow and the suffering, delusion, misunderstanding. Now, once that enters into my mind has become a liability. What is that liability? I am prone to anger, agitation, anxiety, duality, conflict, confusion. Prone. Do you see that? How beautiful the way it is. So that is why the problem is fight between the Shreyas and the prayers. Shreyas is already inside me. Prayers I have borrowed from the world in relationship to the world and the mind. So the mind has to be treated properly and rightly. How it is to be treated properly and rightly, there the principle comes. You already know the discernment and dispassion. So we have to bring an end between the fight between the Shreyas and the prayers. Connect with the existence here and now. Otherwise, these prayers will continue to create unfavorable condition, negative attitude, attention, grabbing personality, working in the mind. The mind becomes a great liability. Sin is nothing but anti-Shreyas. Unfavorable condition is anti-Shreyas. We develop self-rejecting, self-neglecting personality. I'm not pointing to anyone. We find rest in shedding tears, in fear, in insecurity. All the time I'm feeling, self-rejecting, self-neglecting personality has to be changed to self-accepting, self-growing, self-evolving personality from moment to moment. Your life will change. Life will change. There was a great master in the 19th century, Ramakrishna Paramhans. That is very interesting. When I said Shreyas is inbuilt in me, naturally, in every human being, he did not study any text. He was only committed to the existence. And the knowledge revealed to him in his mind is what is written in all these texts. And he was the master of Swami Vivekananda, who visited United States long back in 1893. Now see that how he used to explain by giving an example of a frog. Frog lays the eggs in the water. It grows into tadpole. As long as the tadpole has a tail like a fish, so as long as the tadpole, that is how he used to explain. He has hundreds of metaphors. He never studied any text. You need not to study any. If you have that commitment and sincerity, let the knowledge be revealed by the existence in me. It will be revealed. So you see that young babies, the frog has a tail. And as long as they have a tail, they cannot jump out of the water on the earth. When they grow, they become young, tail is gone, and now they can jump on the earth and they can jump into the water whenever it is required. So now he explains, this ocean is like a me world. And the earth is like the highest meditative state. So as long as you are a tadpole, means you live your life with the me world, you will continue to live in an ocean of suffering. He just, what I spoke for about 20 minutes, he summarized by one story. So now that me world is not there, so I can jump onto the earth. I rest in meditation, and whenever I need to discharge my duties in my work, my life, let me enter into an ocean, but without the tail. What is that tail? Tail is the me world. Do you see how beautiful the way it is? Now, the moment I wake up in the morning, I have to look into my agenda. I have to work with that agenda. I have to give lessons, and then I have to write and do my stuff. So that is the part of the world. But now there is no tail of the me world. So I can work with commitment, not with attention grabbing personality, but attention giving personality. Commitment, kindness, peace. So I'm treating my mind properly. So the mind is going to treat me properly. The same thing with the car. You drive your car. The way you drive your car, the same way the car treats you. You can use any instrument. If there is an attention giving to my phone, the phone will last longer, isn't it? No? But if I'm attention seeking personality from the phone, maybe out of hesitation and reaction, I will throw the phone. For anything and everything, for every person. That is what we are exchanging. This is what the Sam we are living with that existence. A lot of things, we will do it later. So let us start our journey. Eyes are closed and eyes are closed. You all are seekers now, so eyes are closed. Check the body is steady. Body is steady. Attention giving person. Body is an instrument. Your mind is not grabbing any attention of the past and future. Your mind is giving attention to the body. That makes the body steady. Eyes are closed. Again, you are giving attention to your eyes, gently closed. You see? And then again, mind is facing within. Come on, mind. Enough is enough. The mind has thought. It is attention grabbing person. It is a me word. Oh, like this. Let us see. Start breathing deep, silent, and slow. I'm skipping being comfortable and being carefree. Why? You are a seeker. There is no need. Deep, silent, and slow breathing is your car. You already know it. Car is deep, silent, slow breathing. Mind is the driver. So as you inhale, move the mind inside the right arm from the shoulder to the fingertips in the space, and that space inside is the highway. And then what the intellect is doing, intellect knows. What it knows? That you are moving on the highway with Shantoham. Mentally you're saying. Understand it again. The breath is deep, silent, and slow. As you inhale, the mind moves inside in the space or emptiness, the intellect saying, knowing, Shantoham, I am the peace. Attention, giving mind. I believe you all are getting it. We are using the four instruments. Breath is a car, the mind is a driver, the space is a highway. What is that space? Perception, no projection at all. And the intellect knows the destination. Destination is Shantoham. You see that when we say goodbye to the me word, that mind says, I'm ready to follow the path. It's a matter of understanding, and the knowledge works along with the practice. What you can achieve in Kundalini meditation in 10 years can be achieved in 1 year. And you might be feeling the changes. And now move inside the left arm. Reminder, even I know that you don't need any reminder. Deep, silent, slow breathing. That is not any causing any discomfort. The mind should not feel that deep, silent, slow breathing is a liability. So what will happen? The mind will grab the attention. When it grabs the attention, then your mind is somewhere else. Then it is not aware of the space inside. It will take over the intellect. It will not say Shantoham. attention giving mind. It gives attention to the breathing, to itself, to the highway, and to the Shanto hum. You see, our masters have made us understand totally in a unique way. Every master has their own approach. Now, inside the right leg, it's a smooth sailing. Why? You're always ready to give attention. That makes you unite with the existence. Shantu hum. Shantu hum. Shantu hum. Any single step taught by any master or any modern teacher, if they follow the Eastern wisdom, can take you to the highest state. Provided I am a seeker. You see that everybody is so standstill. With the me world, the body becomes attention grabbing, mind attention grabbing, intellect attention grabbing. We lost touch in with the existence, and then we feel discomfort with people, with place, with surrounding, with the things outside. That is the principle. And now moving the mind inside the left leg. So as a seeker, you absorb the knowledge. There is a clarity, there is a conviction, and that conviction is realized by the mind. The mind follows Shreyas. The one who follows Shreyas always succeeds. And now inside the spine, from the crown of the head, as you inhale, the intellect sings. Shantoham reaches to the tailbone. And as you exhale, the mind moves, rises up with the same singing and knowing I'm the peace. Shantoham. So now we check the freedom, how much the mind is an asset to me. As you inhale, the mind moves from the crown of the head to the belly button, dropping Shanto Hum. From the belly button, mind rises as you exhale, dropping Shanto Hum. It's worth noting we are keeping the mind on track by the deep silence slow reading. So the mind at a very subtle level is still outside, and once we leave that, we will see what happens. Continue at this time. Crown of the head to the belly button. Shantu Hum. You need not to go to a very tedious process of Kundalini. The lowest center is the survival. Me word is 100%. Second center is the desire center we left at. It is a desire center. 90% of the me word. Belly button. It is 60% of the me word. So a recognition takes place. We just ignored giving attention to these two centers. but with the right understanding, with the knowledge, with clarity. And now the movement continues with the crown of the head. Make your breath a little shorter. That goes up to the heart, dropping Shantoham. So, breath is not very deep, but as the breath goes and the mind moves from the crown of the head to the heart within, that is the seat of desires. From there, the me word begins. Shantoham, and from the heart to the crown of the head, Shantoham. I am the peace. Shantoham. And if you see the mind and the breath are in synergy with the Shantoham, your mind is an asset, not a liability. And why it is a liability, you already know it. That is what we discussed and understood clearly. And now, leave the breath as it is. No more deep silence, slow breathing. And see that as the mind has become an asset completely. Keep looking inside the forehead in the space. And as you drop Shantoham, the mind goes very deep. So the mind maintains that deeper point, and from there you again drop Shantoham. The mind goes deep further. So with every Shantoham, the mind moves deeper and deeper inside the forehead, third eye is not a physical one. It is a knowledge. What is that knowledge? It points to the real self alone is true. The way the sugar cube declares, I will remain sweet wherever you put me, place me. We get a glimpse of that. And the me world always gives a glimpse of pain, pleasure, duality, conflict, confusion, etc., etc. So that is why the name third eye, Trinetra, it is known as Trinetra of the Shiva. Continue. And just do nothing, remain as you are, in a state of doing nothing. A perfect state to sync with the existence outside and inside. That reveals the knowledge of the true nature. Oh, leave everything in the state of doing nothing. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes, open the eyes inside. Know your experiences and bring the hands down. We'll share our experiences. But before that, I make it clear what Sam was asking, that we should we can be with the prayers. Yes, We are with the prayers supported by the Shreyas. That is how the frog jumps into an ocean of the me world to grab food, to enjoy, and return again. Every time you return back to your own self. That is where the Shreyas is. How are you, Jerry? Ah, we don't hear you. We see the lips are moving, but not, but not listening. Very happy sitting in the. Yeah, it's okay. In the meantime, let's me have Lara. She will come back.
Um, I'm a semi-seeker today.
Semi-seeker.
Yeah,
That's a good
my mind
expression.
was really in that. It kind of kept getting pulled into Prayas, and so I was like, okay, you're just being a semi-seeker today, and that's okay.
That's okay.
And just because I was like starting to beat myself up, like you're not doing it right, that piece. And but then I was like, okay, just be okay with being. Doesn't have to be a full seeker, and you're a human, and you're in this human experience, and I kind of went to. I'm making a commitment to me, and my commitment to me is to just really stay grounded and be as present as possible. And like I know for right now that's where I'm in my path. And like I just need to make sure that I feel grounded because I've gotten pulled out so many times in so many directions, not on my path. And so I know that it's more this commitment to me and showing up to the things that I've committed to. So, and that's my summary seeker.
No, no problem. Recognize the 4R. Recognize, we discussed about it. Recognize that even recognition is a great thing. That changes the state of the mind. Recognize, receive, retain, and realize. Wonderful. How are you, Jerry?
Good. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, good. That was great. I love the idea of the mind as an asset or best friend, perfect roommate. Because those it's when we practice that, or when I practice that, I know when anything comes in that's negative or not really
That's
dealing
wonderful.
with what is, that I can correct that quickly.
Yes, yes, Jerry. You see, the Jerry's mind has a different explanation. Lara's mind has a different explanation, but both are pointing towards the progress. That needs to be understood. So any word, any phrase goes into your head and it says, "This is it," and it helps you to grow. Beautiful. How are you, Brandy?
I'm pretty good, thank you. All the things needed attention when I came in today. I have a headache. My mind was really busy. My body's doing things like everything was attention seeking. So your lesson was especially meaningful, and it also I think was reflected in my practice. My practice was especially strong today because so many things were yanking, and everything just kind of got settled as we went through the nyasa, and it was helpful.
It was helpful. You see, this is what the mind awakens to the reality. But you have all different expressions, but ultimately it is pointing to the same. Oh, everything was grabbing my attention. Am I giving attention? So grabbing attention is the me word. Simple. Beautiful. How are you, Sam?
I'm really good. it was interesting today because as we were going through the Nyasa, and the Shantoham, the areas that I have been focused on in terms of physical training presented themselves as blockages to the Nyasa. So I was just noticing that. But I've also noticed in terms of going about my day to day, I've been trying to discern when I'm in Shreyas and when I'm in Prayas.
Yep, that's good.
My body is starting to tell me because it feels, those areas feel stressed, those areas of weakness feel stressed when I know I'm in Prayas. So that's a way of noticing for me right now. And at first I was like, all right, let's start contemplating and reflecting. But you can't do it when you're in Prayas. So I've just been trying to go back to the present, right? Put myself back in Shreyas. And that's when the situations reveal themselves afterwards. Once I've detached from the moment and gone back to Shreyas, I can say, okay, that's why I was feeling a little bit this way then. So I guess my body and my mind and my spirit are all feeling a sense of connectedness and noticing when things are not the way they should be.
Recognition is the first step. The moment I recognize that there is a Prayas, the Shreyas begins. The moment you have a recognition that mind is taking my attention to everything except the real self, except the peace, then it is a me word. And that very recognition takes your mind and starts the journey. That's another good way. How are you, Stephen?
I am better now. I actually woke up this morning. It seems as if we've all had some issues today, but I woke up this morning and my body was fatigued. My mind was exhausted and I didn't want to do anything. And I actually, what's been happening a lot, I have a little Girish that sits on my shoulder. And I said, what would your Girish say? And I said to myself, Shreyas is the way. Pulled myself out. I got myself into meditation this morning and experienced my practice as frictionless.
Fatigue was gone. Exhaustion
everything's
was gone.
I feel completely different person. So
yes,
that's a good thing. And Christina, I'm glad to see you back.
That's a beautiful way. That is what you follow the Shreyas. You may experience an extreme fatigue and mentally exhausted. It flees like anything. That is the power of the knowledge of the Eastern wisdom. I didn't want to say before, but I was waiting that someone shares the experience. You change yourself completely. That is the power. The moment the mind becomes an asset. So, how are you, Barbara?
Well, it took me a little while to settle down today into the meditation. But then when I did, like peace kept coming over me like waves.
That's good.
And then I just felt very connected to myself.
Good. That's another way. Connected to myself, the mind is an asset. It is only the mind that recognizes. Beautiful. How are you, Vaibhav?
Sir, I'm good. It's simply like that. While doing the practice and in the daytime, also like if I hold too many things in my mind, then obviously it will get troubled. So whenever I just get this awareness that too many things are going in my head, I come to myself, and the moment I come to myself, it is peaceful and relaxing.
That's a wonderful way to explain it. So we can go to the next step. That is what I was waiting. Once you guys and girls share the experiences. Too many things, me word, prayers. See that? So then it becomes an attention grabbing personality. I'm exhausted, for example. Now my mind is taking the attention of exhaustion. What you will get? Nothing. Now, see the beauty of these principles. Good. How are you, Bo?
Hello, how are you? I had an interesting
I'm taking your attention.
experience. Pardon?
I'm taking your attention.
You're taking my attention. Well, on my way to class, I always say, "Going to see Girish, going to see Girish."
Okay.
I'm always very excited to learn from you. Here's something that happened to me, and maybe you can explain it because I can't. I don't know if it's called heat or energy. But as we started the meditation and my mind became unfocused, we would get to, for example, concentrate on your right arm. So I'm pulled back by that. I have a little car of light that goes all the way down the bone, and once it settles in, it's smooth and it rides. But physically, I've noticed I have like all this heat coming off my body where my hair is almost sweating. Once I settle in, like now I'm chilly after the whole meditation. Why does that happen?
Yeah.
Is there a reason for it?
Very, very millions and millions of past impressions are accumulated in our mind pertaining to the prayers. When you do this nyasa, it wants to release sometime. The mind prompts me to release, and if there is a sudden release, we experience too much of heat, too much of cold. What is the way? Continue. Just continue the practice. Follow the practice, and one day you will find that there is a sudden release. Now I can tell you, I've told you before also, that when we do these kind of practices, you may get a sudden jerk in the body. That is also the meaning that we are releasing those impressions.
Wow.
It is purifying, it is cleansing. Let it be so. So we have our dear, where is Christina? Yeah, here is Christina.
Thank you.
So I'm grateful to be here with you all and share this experience and from here on out. During the experience, I felt that I was the observer, and the prayers was on the TV, and it was just someone was clicking through the TV channels, and it was just thoughts that I didn't need to be thinking about.
Yeah,
I was just back observing, ignoring that. And then, so that was an interesting feeling to be able to not get those. And once we were pulsating in my third eye of just, and then once you drop the Shanti Shanti, I just get absorbed throughout my body and pulsating or just circle around. So it was very beautiful.
Beautiful. You see, you also look beautiful when you attend the session. You become more beautiful when you attend the session. I don't know, because I don't meet you and after the session. What is that? Yes, there's a very good point that was unfolded. That is what I heard, and that I will take it. Let me have Sangeeta share her experiences first.
सर एक कभी लगता है कि श्रेयस में है, लेकिन सटल लेवल पे प्रेयर्स भी साथ साथ ही होता है। तो अवेयरनेस जब आती है तो एकदम से श्रेयस में आ जाता है।
Yes, she is making a good point. The moment she becomes aware, the mind returns to the Shreyas. So otherwise, there is a mixture of the movement, both the Shreyas and the Preyas movement. Beautiful. What point I was making, think of it and change your expression that is coming from the mind. That idea, that thought popped up in my mind because of what I heard from Christina. The moment I say I am stressed, so there is a stressful situation outside, but I am different from it. Are you getting it? I am rich. No. I have a lot of money in my bank account, but I am different from that adjective. Do you see that? I'm beautiful. Beautiful, I'm relating to the body. The moment I relate it to the body, the mind starts moving to the prayers. Oh, you didn't appreciate me. We do all the stuff on the face with the clothes. Why? Is it attention seeking or attention giving? That I leave on you to think. It doesn't mean that I should not clean myself. I should not put everything. That's a totally different. Huh? That's totally different. So this mind is treated properly, rightly, make it an asset, and you live in the world. There is always a success, peace, happiness, love, and wisdom. Thank you. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.